Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. I'm Niamh Curran reporting from EBAday 2024 in Lisbon. I'm joined by Paul Thomalla and we're going to be talking a bit about ISO 20022. Hi Paul.
Hi, how you doing, Niamh?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm pretty good actually, yeah.
Good EBA day so far.
It's the best event by far.
And so we're going to be talking about ISO. As far as I am aware, everyone is already using ISO 20022. What changes do we have left there?
Well, I think there's a lot of change, and while you're right to say there's a lot, and we've moved a long way in the last 20 odd years now, every immediate payment rail is basically ISO based. I believe the stats are 80% of all the high value payments now are going over ISO, and of course we have SWIFT. So we have a lot of change on the external side of it, if you will, but we still have quite a lot of legacy systems that albeit talk ISO on the outside. So if you will, it's quite a complex world because the ISO changes are happening, mandates happen, all the internal systems happen, all the hardware and the software, they all change. So we really have a tsunami of change always just constantly hitting us. And actually, that's a real problem we never quite had before. So trying to get to be a compliant player, even with ISO, is pretty hard. And ISO's not magic, it's not a cure-all, it just helps us on the journey.
So looking at that then, what are some of the compliance issues we have to deal with? What are the pain points there?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because I would say generally the industry didn't think of it, that it was going to be here. But if you do think about it, ISO is very much a business-led tool. It's very nuanced. It's not like in the old days you had a file format, do that, does it work? Yes it does, well you're done. Well, of course, when you've got business rules going over these ISO rails, you actually need the business people to be testing the rails, make sure they're doing what you want, and of course they are compliant. Well, guess what? There aren't that many people that understand the business rules, how payments work, and how the legacy systems that are inside of the bank actually work. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of those people are like my age and they're starting to want to retire. So the pressure point moves from being effectively in the old world a technology process to be a mixture of, sure, there's a lot of technology here, but the truth of the matter is we need the business nuance of people who understands not only how payments work, but the rules and what's going on over those rules. It's much more now a business-led conversation.
So I guess the obvious question here is, how are we going to fix these problems?
Well, I think we almost need to turn it the other way round. For quite a while now, we've had a look at, testing these things, and there are two ways of testing it really. You just throw people at it. And sometimes that's all you can do. And sometimes you have a generic testing tool, which is an IT-led tool, and that's fine. And we absolutely need that, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the ISO side of this, you need the business expertise. You need people who understand both at the client side and the bank side what's going on over these rails and why. And as I say, those people are rare. So if you've got all this change going along at the same time, all of a sudden there's a massive pressure point on the business people to get this sorted out. And what we're saying is, well, let's kind of turn it the other way round. Let's try and get to a compliant state for the new ISO rails or the updated ISO rails. Make sure the business is actually a compliant business, client side and bank side. And if you can get that, then you can focus on your clients getting new business and perhaps less of the IT work, which needs to be done, but these guys want to be externally facing with their clients. We've got to make sure that not only do we get you compliant as quickly as possible, but once we've got you there, we keep you there, because inevitably there's going to be all those business changes and there's going to be all the technology changes. Compliance and the road to compliance I think is the real key.
So a lot of challenges still left to go.
I'm afraid so.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today. I won't keep you from the rest of the conference, but I really enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.